Hey everyone, Anthony, Bangin Beers Podcast. Surprise episode. We're going to hit you guys in the middle of the week with one because we want to, how we always said to you guys before, like, hey, we're a week ahead. This episode's a week ahead. We're a week ahead. We want to eliminate that week ahead because for two reasons we want to get to. First reason is if we want to showcase local breweries and we want to showcase local distributors. So if we say, hey, we got these beers from the Cake Stand, or we got these from the Beer Shack, or we got these from the Craft House in Minersville, and then we wait a week to air it, those beers may be gone, and everything we did for the work to promote them is pointless, and we're dumb for doing it that way. So we're going to do it. We're going to record on Fridays, and it will be out on a Sunday, but we will put all the photos of the beers out the night we record them and say, these beers are from here, go get them, and then listen to the episode Sunday. So that's our new style. That's what we're going to do. So, but we do still have a little bit of a backlog, so we're going to we may sneak some episodes in, as well as some interviews. Some interviews that are going to come soon. So we have an interview drop in with, we have a few. I don't want to put the other ones out until they say it's happening, but we just interviewed Sam Mills, who's the artist of Nightmare Brewing Company. That's going to come out on Wednesday. So definitely check that out. So right now we're doing an episode, quick 5 beers. We'll see how it goes. Quick 5 beers.
From Benny Brewing Company.
Benny Brewing Company in Wilkes-Barre. So we stopped here on the way to pick up the next Friday's episode, or next Sunday's episode, which is going to be the collaboration episode. We were grabbing some stuff from Breaker Brewing Company. Yes. And then Ben said, hey, there's a place called Benny's. We should stop in. We went in. We got their like a little mix of 6-pack. This is their Bomb series. So each beer is based off the hop, which I'm excited for because I can really get a taste of the hop knowing that that's the main push of the flavor of the beer. So now when I hear Simcoe, I've had this beer and I can say, oh, that's what the Simcoe is. So this is like an educational episode for me.
And not only that, it's a little bit. They have a little bit of lactose in them, so it's going to be a little bit creamy on each end. So it's going to be just an enjoyable single hop beer. But
I feel like the flavor, like going into this, I know there's some creaminess to it, but the creaminess shouldn't take away from the hop flavor.
Right.
So like the Bomb shouldn't taste the same, or the Azaic shouldn't taste the same as the Simcoe. They should be two different flavored beers.
Oh, they definitely are. Spoiler alert.
Are they? They taste the same?
No, they're two totally different.
Oh, okay.
You're saying about it being.
And then
totally
we have
different.
the pale ale brewed by them, which is
like
a little lightning bug on the label. It's a cutesy can. These are all tiny cans. You get them in 6-packs.
These are regular size cans, by the way.
I call them tiny cans.
They're 12 ounces.
Baby cans.
I feel like holding pounder cans for as long as I have with that's my normal drinking can now.
Yeah.
And then I hold one of these. I'm like, I feel like Andre the Giant. Like,
did you ever see the picture of Andre the Giant holding the regular size beer can?
Yeah,
it's like
holding
covered.
It's like holding a shot glass for him.
Incredible.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorites.
Just make sure you're in there a little bit.
Mighty.
So like you're learning. So like when you talk, you kind of lean towards me and you gotta stay in that. You gotta hear your sexiness, man.
Well, we got cheese up in there. And we definitely have Cheesefoot back.
Cheesefoot is back.
Round 2.
He's back for round 2.
I'm here for it.
Which I'm happy for. I always like having Cheesefoot around. He's a good dude. Cheesefoot hooks me up when at shows. I'm like, hey man, I want to buy all this merch, but I don't want to hold it. And he's like, just put it here for me.
Bro, I held so much goddamn merch, and that's the only time I've ever held merch, by the way. I was just like, God damn it, I have to do it.
Yeah, because you're home. Yeah.
Like,
and then you got my shirt.
No, everybody else that was there from home too. I was like, nah, like, sorry, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate
that. Oh,
that.
you're doing it for him? Like, no, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Prove it.
I bought so much.
You did. You bought so much shit, and it was like, could you imagine if I made you carry it? Like,
I had
sorry, dude.
I had a box of hot sauce. I had a hat. I had a hoodie. I had a T-shirt. I had a vinyl.
I think your brother matched you on everything you had.
Yeah, and then my brother bought the same stuff. And then it was funny because I went and bought my 68 shirt, and Austin was like, I'm going to wait until I see them. But when they tear down and get out quick. So they tore down, got out, and Austin's like, oh, fuck, I didn't get my shirt. So then I think, no, he got a shirt. He went real late because I think he went, I went back to Cheese. I was like, hey, here's my 68 shirt. If you can get one for my brother too, I gave you the money, and he got it. But then I came back and mine was signed by the band, and I was like,
boy.
Cheesefoot's a fucking man. And then my brother's like, oh man, you got it signed. But fucking, there's one of those bands that I'd seen, like, I'm going to see Crowbot, and I'm supporting Crowbot, but then I see them like, holy shit, these guys are awesome.
They blew me away. Day
So
one,
good.
I was like, holy fucking shit, I get to see them for another month?
Yeah, super cool dudes. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to go to the Bomb, or you just want to get the Pale Ale right out of the way first? Do you want to end with the Pale Ale and start with the bombs?
Let's go with the pale ale first.
Okay.
And then we can start switching it all over.
Get your Untapped fired up.
Don't worry.
Oh shit, I have that now.
Yeah, that's all right. Great color.
Oh shit.
Great color on this one. All right.
I don't know. I'm sure you're probably more safety conscious than I am, but I had an idea based off of Andre the Giant one time.
Oh yeah, I remember this. We're actually I was gonna try to help you set this up.
Andre the Giant drinking challenge.
Yep.
Andre the Giant once drank, what was it?
100 beers.
No, it was like 120 or
119.
119. It was
100,
119 beers.
And then he had
over the course of 6 hours at a bar in Reading, Pennsylvania.
And didn't he drink all this whiskey and wine and stuff?
He was known for just being not even drunk, just drinking all the time. But he drank 119 beers. We're going to round that out to a nice even 120.
Yeah. And we're going to do teams of 5?
Teams of 4. Well, teams of 5. 5 was because mandatory designated driver.
Yeah.
Because we're going to then split 120 beers amongst 4 people over 6 hours.
Yeah.
And you're going to want somebody to take care of you for that.
Yeah.
But I want to get a belt made for it, like winner gets the belt or something. How awesome would that be? Oh, boy.
It's one of those things, too, where, I don't
think we'll ever get sponsors for it. There's not a chance.
A part of me wants to do it because we will have, a safety precaution. But on the same token is, you get the wrong people involved, and they'll push themselves to the point where they do get themselves sick or hurt themselves. Yeah. And I don't want that either. And, here's the thing. And this is where I try to toe the line. I know some episodes we get a little crazy and we do drink more than we probably should, but I want to let people know when you drink here, it's not like I'm rushing you out of the house. Everyone's hangs out for a while. We make sure everyone's
get
good.
Water to drink.
Yeah, and I purposely pick certain guests knowing that they can handle their craft beer, because in the earlier episodes, you a craft beer fan? They're like, not really. Cool. Here's here's 12% beers, and they're like, I'm fucked. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be. I want to be a beer podcast, but I also want to. Because for me personally, I don't drink beer anymore to get drunk. I'm more or less doing it to be I want to try this. I want to taste this. I'm more in that, because I don't like being drunk. I don't wake up. I don't like waking up the next day.
God, hangovers. I'm almost 30.
I'm over that. I'm over it. I don't go out and be I'm gonna get blackout. I'm over blackout. You know what I mean? I know some people aren't, but that's just for me. So I don't want to be that page or be that thing where it's encouraging people to be drunk idiots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
like I said, I doubt I will ever find anybody interested in that.
I'm sure you can find a lot of people.
Dream.
There's a lot of people you can find interested, but the people who are interested would be those people who would give it a black eye.
Oh my god. Yeah. It would be a one and done without a doubt.
All right, so this is the pale ale Benny Brewing Company.
Ale for Benny Brewing Company. It's a 6.5 ABV pale ale.
Smells fantastic.
Smells good. Had a little bit of a nip here.
Well, read off the description before you get crazy here.
There's literally no description.
Oh, there is no description. All right, Benny, come on.
Well,
you gotta put a little description.
It's hoppy, citrusy, smooth, light, and dry are the notes.
Well, let's do this real quick. Let's do this real fast. So, Benny Brewing Company is out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. They have made 104 beers. They average a 3.69. Saka to me one more time. Get low. They have some beers that we didn't get some of these beers, but some of the beers' names are fantastic. There was a few that I was looking at on Hop when we were there, but their big one is called Hopstein. It's like a Frankenstein beer. It has Frankenstein on it. Looks cool. All their cans are very colorful, poppy. They're nice. They're cool. They have a beer called Buck Tree 80. Which is fantastic. If that's not a School County beer, even though they're not School County. Buck Tree 80, a beer called Wit, just a beer called the 570. That's cool to me.
I would drink a 570.
Yeah, 570. I hope that's they have a green tea IPA, pumpkin ale, a one and done. A one and done is their 8.2, so I'm wondering if that's they feels like they're heavy hitter.
Here's the
they have a one and done. So they have the one and done is a series. So the one and done 8 was a 9. So I guess they've made more different one and dones.
Yeah, and they have a single batch pineapple jamsicle. It's a 5%er. I'm looking it up too. Hey Na or Goza.
Oh, the one and done series is really up there. I'm seeing 17.
Baxter's Maple Nut Brown Ale. Wow, they have quite a bit here. One and done number 13. One and done number 17.
17's the highest I've seen so far. But yeah, let's get into this beer. This is a place, if you are listening, people at Benny's, they did take our information down. I had to get business cards or stickers or something. It's just saving up money for other things and buying beer. It's hard to put towards stickers and getting that situated. But we're definitely interested in going to breweries and doing episodes. So if you're willing to have us and come try your beers and talk to you guys and find out more about you guys and how you started, we are into that as well. But yeah, let's get our first one. This is the Pale Ale, the Little Lightning Bug beer here.
Now, I do like this. This is just a simple, easy drinker. Like, if you don't want something super heavy, this would, I think, total on the lines of a good introductory beer. Like, even better than an introductory beer. It does say exactly what it's doing. Like, hoppy, citrusy, smooth. It does hit those notes for me.
Here's the thing. I don't get hop at all. Let me try this again.
I get a little bit of it, but it's mostly citrusy.
I'm finding it for sure.
All right, so I lied. You get a little bit of bite hop in the very beginning.
Yeah,
and then it smooths out beautifully. Like, this is a crushable all-day drinker. Like, this is, for me anyway, it's a 6.5. I don't know what people think, but I know this is getting a check-in of like a 3.65 or a 3.25. I think that's good. I think that's right where it should be. But I'm kind of torn between I'll give it my initial check-in, my little score. I'm torn between a 3.25 and a 3.50. Only because I think some people would have this and not go higher because it's sometimes crushable, easy drinking, smoother, lower ABVs that aren't super hoppy or aren't a stout or aren't a sour.
Yeah.
Kind of fall to the wayside. You know what I mean? Either you're a super hoppy IPA, you're a sour, you're a stout. But if you make a Pils or a Lagner or a Lager, why am I saying Lagner? I cannot
2
shake.
days in a row.
Man, you're shaking Lagner, man. Holy
Schlagner.
We need to make a Lagner. That's what
I'm an
I'll make a Lagner. Yeah.
This is the Bangin Beers Podcast Lagner.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Be like, what?
This I mean this in this is a good thing for me, I promise. This is a beer. Like, when I think oh yeah, I'll have a beer. This is what I would go for. It's got everything I want as far as it's got enough flavor. It doesn't have any negatives to me. This is a beer. This
to me as well. Just to kind of piggyback on what you're saying. Not only is this a beer, but I think if someone is they're like, I want to go to a craft, say if you're taking your buddy to a craft beer place and they're like, well, I don't really like craft beer, and then you well, here, try our pale ale. This is a good introductory beer for you to dive your feet into it the first time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, dip your toes in, just get a feel for it, and it's decent. It's decent enough to be like, hey, this will get
I
you
would
right
absolutely
there.
have another one.
Yeah. Or you can have, I mean, they go down real nice. So you could probably get a lot more than one of them.
I've even picked up a little bit of a resin at the very end, and it just like it just clings to you there at the end. At least for me,
a resin,
like a piney resin to me. Slight, very slight, but it's sticking, which is pretty nice.
Interesting.
Do you mean that's why my mouth still tastes like a pine cone? Of course, in a good way. But
Kinda, yeah.
All right, good. Well, we're on the same page. I get that then.
Like, it has a little bit of aftertaste.
Yeah, and it's definitely not a bad piney resin.
It's something that makes me want to drink more of it. That's the thing. I can still taste it in my mouth, and it makes me want to go back.
Hop, citrus, and at that very, very end of it, very light pine resin, which is nice. Because I like the pine stuff. Like, if you gave me like a Douglas fir fucking ale, or with pine needles and shit, I would drink that all day.
The Douglas is the blue one, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right, so I gave my score 3.50. What are you going with, Ben?
I'm gonna go with the 3.25.
3.25?
Solid 3.25. As I said before, I mean that's just a good introductory beer.
I hope that's a flagship for them. I hope that's something that stays on tap for them.
I wouldn't doubt that in the slightest. That's a nice one.
Well, yeah, when it comes to what their flagships are and stuff, we don't really know. Only because when we went there, we went to open the door to go in, because some places you can go in, but as soon as we open, they're like, "Excuse me, we'll be right out." It's literally curbside only. They come out to you, and they're like, "Here's a menu. Are you here for food? Are you picking up?" And we're like, "We're just kind of here for beer. What can we do?" And the girl was like, "I can make you a quick a mix of 6." And we're like, "Yeah, just give us 1 or 2 of each, and we'll get out of your hair." And she was like, super sweet girl, really nice,
awesome.
And she was like, "Yeah, cool." And then we're like, "Yeah, we're doing it for our podcast." So she's like, "Awesome." And then she wrote down the name and stuff. But yeah, we couldn't go in and really look at the place. It looks like a huge warehouse.
It kind of reminds you of a pole building, but a little bit more it's kind of sort of downscale, but big enough for people to sit down, eat.
Yeah, it looks like there's a big restaurant in there, so it's definitely some of those places when it opens, we want to go experience it.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right.
I went 3.75 for this, John.
Oh wow.
Because It's like I said, it's a solid beer.
Well, you're a
This
beer
is what I
drinker, but you
expect
like your
when I hear a
domestics,
beer.
so you're still trying to get a little more into the craft scene.
I love crafts, but
You lean toward domestic.
if I'm going out somewhere, I'm more likely to just order a lager and expect a Yingling than to have to peruse through everything.
Yeah.
But this, like I said, it's a solid beer, but the aftertaste of it just made me want to have more of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that craving to it definitely.
I'm
deserves
actually
it
happy there's
closer to a
extra
4
cans
for
of
me.
this because I'm going to be snagging one off you. All right, so what are we going to do here? We have Citra Bomb, Mosaic, how do you say that? Azaka, and Simcoe.
So, from learning about the show,
What
we
color
know-
Power Ranger do you want?
Yeah,
I was going to say we should do it in alphabetical order, but that's like the nerd in me.
roll with it. Yeah, roll with it.
Am I still right there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right.
You're like thinking. I'm looking at like back of the.
Also, how
cans.
many times do you want to say that word?
Good call.
I'll say it too. I'll say it.
I'm terrible at it. Well, how does it? Azaka.
Azaka.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a good look. Good look to it.
Oh, she pretty.
It's a little lighter, a little on the lighter end. Let's see how it goes. Now these are all these bomb series are all hazy IPAs
With milk sugar. No.
with milk sugar.
Brewed with milk sugar, and this is a 6%er. Now, again, this doesn't have a description either. It's just a Azaka Bomb single hop series hazy IPA using Azaka hops, and it clocks in at 6%.
11 check-ins.
Only
it.
11, yeah.
11 check-ins, and they all give it a 4.2, a 4.02.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's gonna be interesting.
Let's see. I love the sound that it makes on the table. I'm sorry.
That's all right. All right.
This smells very pleasant. This is a pleasant smelling hazy IPA. It's
And we did purchase it at Benny's Brewing Company. All right. So
why do I suck at finding this one?
So now that, like, obviously you have this hop in your glass and you take a sniff of it, you're like, okay, that's what that hop kind of smells like. That, you know what I mean? So this is like, for me, I'm kind of not fully basing it off that, but like now when I smell the glass and I'm like, this is Azaic,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And I smell it, it's like, that's what that is. That's where I'm getting that. So this is like I'm trying to use this as like an educational beer tool for me.
I always say, like, if it has like a little bit of a dryness, it has a little bit of like a dusty taste first, but it's not in a bad way either.
That's super smooth. Another crushable. I mean, it's only a single. You know what I mean? It's a single hop.
And that finishes off dry too.
Yeah.
That is wow.
This is one of the driest beers I've ever had, actually.
That's
Super
something
tasty.
else. I really like this. I really do like this.
You know what
one.
my new thing is? I'm gonna literally just try to find. I'm gonna go on YouTube and I'm just gonna watch videos of just fucking different hops and categories and what you get out of hops. And I gotta do more research. I can't just be a schmuck and just drink beers and be like, oh, I think I get that flavor profile. Look at me. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I get. That's clearly dragon food, even though I've never eaten one in my entire life.
There, you're making a knock at me. No.
No, I mean that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get it in you.
Wow, I do like this.
Good, you scored first.
Okay. I would give this for a single hop IPA
What are the?
just to enjoy it.
What are the
They don't
flavor
even give you a flavor profile with it.
Come on, Benny's. I know there's only 11 check-ins. Maybe this is brandy new, but give us something here. I don't know how to describe what I'm tasting. I mean, it's creamy, right?
It's creamy. It's pretty dry.
I'm not going through the whole list.
Creamy, dry. It's a different kind of pine, like a sweeter
yeah,
pine.
it's got a little bit of sweet. to
Definitely
it.
a sweeter pine to it. But it's a hint. It's not a whole lot.
I would not by any stretch call it sweet, but it's sweeter than what you would expect.
I mean, I'm not trying. I'll give it a 3.75 because I like what I'm tasting.
You're going lower than everybody. Everyone gave it 4s.
Hey, I mean,
Listen, don't let me pressure you. I'm just.
No, I'm not going-
I'm just talking shit.
I'm here for it.
3.75. That gives it a good. I think that's pretty nice.
I get like a.
Now again, I'm going first, so I didn't even.
I get like a mint almost.
You know what? Now wait a minute.
But like a wild mint, if anything. Like I picked it out of the
Like the
backyard.
first initial sip, I'm like, this is like a Christmas.
It's a very sweet.
I taste Christmas.
It's like a sweet dry mint.
Yeah. I don't.
It's like dead air.
I don't dislike it. I mean, if this is what this hop is, I like it a lot.
And don't forget that has the milk sugar into it too to really smoothen it out. Maybe give it a little bit more of a sweetness then as well.
When you mentioned the mint, it gave me like a memory that I didn't know that I had of my parents' backyard has it's like a wild mint infestation. It overgrows
like you
everything.
chew on
and
them?
it takes over everything.
Oh wow,
And chewing on that is like the exact mint flavor that I get from
Yeah.
this.
that's awesome.
Very interesting. So a memory I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
It is certainly hazy in the glass then too.
I just want to make sure I'm not crazy when I get that mint.
Hazy is the new go-to. I feel like
I think
everybody loves hazy now, and it's awesome.
You could definitely, if you're drinking as much as we are, and you could pick it up. If I'm picking it up too, and if Foot there is picking it up,
I pick my feet up every day.
He called you cheese when you came in. Now it's just the Foot.
hey, if I'm giving you a nickname off of my own design, that's when
I'll
know
take
you're
it.
in.
I'm in.
You're giving him a nickname based off already his nickname.
I do it. I shorten it. I even shorten it more.
You're just being lazy.
Well, maybe he's a
Well,
Ninja
hey.
Turtle fan.
The Foot man. Yeah. What do you score in this cheese Foot?
I went 3.5 because I did 3.75 on the last one. This one's just as tasty, but it doesn't give me the same desire to go back to it.
You're. I feel like with for comparing the two, the pale ale is like, man, you're brand new to craft beer. That's
Here
where
you go.
that's where I'm going to put you 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're someone like, maybe I'm into craft beer. This is your next step.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, this is kind of you're more in the craft beer realm now.
So say that word again for me.
Craft beer realm.
Azaka?
Azaka. Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
Craft? Are you saying beer?
Yeah. Beer.
Beer? Is that good? Have
Yeah.
I had beer?
You're
Would
gonna
I
have
like beer?
You're gonna have about 3 more. So
You may or may not have beer.
Azaka so far from this learning experience feels a little bit on the light side,
yeah.
like the lighter end. Of
Well, that
hops.
also could be the milk sugar and the
Very true.
making it the hazy. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you may get a completely different flavor. I don't know. I'm not a beer. I never made beer in my life. I just drink it and talk about it on a podcast. And who the hell am I?
Yeah.
But this you may get a completely different flavor profile if you were to make this into a different style of beer using the same hop.
Yeah, potentially.
I don't know. I don't know what goes into making beer, and that's why I like to interview breweries to find out why you get that.
I kind of.
It is cool to sit down with a brewery and be like, "Cool, what goes into that? Like,
Yeah.
what am I getting at? Like like Mellow Mink and Liquid Noise were so good with that. He's
Yeah,
like-
they definitely
were.
were.
Like
yeah.
Mellow Mink, like they're both like mad scientists. Like most probably good brewers are. They're just they're fucking geniuses. They're like
They're weird geniuses.
they're so good. They're
feel
so
like
impressive.
Every time I've ever met a brewmaster, it was like, wow, like
Did you go to Harvard?
you sat in the back of the class and nobody talked to you, and now like I really regret that.
Yeah, and now you make good beer, and I want to be your friend.
Right?
Yeah. I'm giving this a 3.75.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. You could say your thought, and I'll get the Citra bomb ready.
Because what I'll definitely say is this: like, even with me learning to just do this Dandelion Wine, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you get the
I fucked up.
Okay.
A little bit of head spilled over. I thought I timed the pour good.
So we went to Double Barley Brewing in North Carolina. I
That's
think
the
it's-
place that made the Crowbot beer.
Yeah.
We
So-
actually had featured them on an episode. Carl, everyone, what does he has? Like he has 15 fucking names. Carlito, Chuck,
Yeah.
from Strikers, and now he's the member of the Nick
a little bit left
Nick
over.
Tower.
Tower band. Yeah. he brought us like 5 or 6 of their beers.
They have, first of all, like, I don't want to, shout them out too hard or anything, but every beer that they had there was the best of that style of beer I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like their Imperial IPA was the best Imperial IPA I've ever had. Their stout was the best stout I've ever had.
How was the Crowbot beer?
The Crowbot beer was a brown ale, and it was the only thing they made that I did not enjoy.
Really?
It made me sad that was the only beer that they made that
I
I
hate the
didn't
Crowbot
enjoy.
beer.
I was like, damn, man, why do I not like this one? Why couldn't you throw that label on anything else they made?
I don't even know what the label looked like. I never got to see it or anything.
It was pretty cool. It was like black. It was a black label. It had blue, like a wizard on it. It was pretty cool.
What was the beer called? Do you remember?
Something Supernatural Ale.
That's what I did.
That's
know
interesting.
But when we were down there, they were telling us like the whole process of everything. They took us through like the brewery and showed us everything. It was so cool, and it was just like, I wish I still had that memory, because afterwards they were like, well, drink everything in the building.
It's not even showing up. Something Supernatural Ale.
Wow.
Let me see. Something Supernatural Ale instead of natural ale.
Okay.
Oh, kind of like you're putting
It's a pun.
the pun
Yeah.
thing, or no, I don't. It's not onomatopoeia. I forget what it's like. Similar sounding words. But anyhow, like as I was saying, with like learning how to do, like trying to do this whole wine, winging this whole thing, like when I decided to go with blood oranges, I'm just like, I just want to see how they would go, because it has a little bit more of a subtle sweetness versus like a regular orange then too. And I'm like, maybe that might actually be a lot better versus just regular oranges, because hey, it might even bring something out or be much better at it. But my whole thing is,
I don't want to go too hard into craft making our own beer, because we definitely want to showcase Benny's here.
No, I get it. But I'm just saying though, like it is definitely a learning curve, and I can kind of see where people like get that whole mad scientist vibe, because you love to try different shit out for real.
Everybody that I've ever met that makes beer, either professionally or for their own amusement, absolutely fucking loves making beer.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see when anybody loves doing anything that they do, but it's especially awesome when they make something that you enjoy enjoying.
Ooh.
All right, so the longest time I didn't know what Citra did in beers, and if it has anything to do with what I'm tasting here. This only has 8 check-ins. And I guess it averages a 3.56, but I guess there's such little check-ins, it doesn't really. 3.75 on this one, 4.25 on this one, 4.25 on this one.
It's super light.
This one was not even checked in at all.
Are you guys picking up a little bit of like a dankness to this?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to call it funky. It has a little bit of a funk to it. I don't want to make fun of it. Like, I don't want to say it in this terms and be disrespectful, but it has like that funk, like that. Oh, like you didn't brush your teeth in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like you got done drinking and smoking. You know what I mean? Back when I did smoke, but like you smoked a little bit at night and you kind of drank beer and you woke up and you have that. Like that armpit taste in your mouth, you know what I mean? Like that dank,
in a good way, of course.
That dank funk, like what was that Dave Chappelle skit where he's like, "What do you want?" And he's like, "I want a Sam Adams." Like, it's 10:30 in the morning. He goes, "I'm trying to wash the taste of hookers and weed out of my mouth."
I'll have one
funny.
too. Yeah. I think that was Family Guy.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll have one too."
Yeah, it definitely was.
It's got that funk to it, the dank, that funk.
Mm-hmm.
It's juicy too.
Very juicy.
Mm.
It's juicy, and that little bit of dank at the tail end of it really kind of sets that one. I like that one.
I do. I'm a fan of Citra. I always thought I was a fan of Citra, and that kind of confirms it.
It's fascinating in the sense that we're really deconstructing like all these hop combinations from all these beers that we've had up until this point. It's like it's a deconstructed beer that we're finally actually.
I never really had a beer that just said this is
it.
Your flavor is Citra.
I can't believe that this is the first time that I've experienced somebody who actually broke it down like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
awesome.
usually like this is strawberry and it's brewed with Citra hops.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
it seems genius to want to teach people which direction they should go.
Well, as soon as she came out with these 4-packs and I was like Mosaic, Simcoe, Citra, Bombs, I was like, this is gonna be cool to like actually.
Yeah, it's even cooler that you didn't even do this on purpose. The fact that she hooked you up like that, makes it way cooler.
And which is great when it comes to when you hire people to your staff, where your person at the staff is like, hey, this is our new thing, you should try this, or this is our flagships. You like, because I don't know, like from looking at the check-ins, these seem like they're new.
When I spent many years working for Applebee's. I was a server. I was also a cook at Applebee's. But when I was a server, I was our craft beer expert. And I'm not an expert by any means, but I was, our expert on staff. And it always drove me insane because we kept between 15 and 20 different craft beers on at any time. It was, that's fucking awesome for an Applebee's.
Yeah.
And people would come in and I'd be like, oh, are you interested in hearing about our craft beer selection? And you'd see their eyes light up and they'd be like, yeah, tell me all about it. And I'd walk them through. I would just, off the top of my head, I knew them all. And I'd be like, all right, we have this one, and I'll tell you about it. And then we have this one, and I'll tell you about it. And I'd walk through every single one. They'd be like, do you have Miller Lite? And it was just
I spit in all the Miller Lite.
The most disappointing moment of my life, and I think I went through it 10 times a day.
Do you have Netflix?
I do.
Do you ever watch the show Brewery Bros yet?
No.
It's fucking funny. Like the guy,
I gotta watch that.
He does the same thing. He walk in, he's like, "Oh, we have a ale, and we have an IPA, and we have a stout," and he's going through all the characteristics, and she's like, "Can I get a Coors Light?" And the guy's like, do you want me to just piss on the floor and you can lap that up and it'll taste, because for how much good beer I drink, my piss will taste better than a Coors Light. And she's like, I'm fucking leaving. You're a pretentious asshole.
I just
like,
always
he's like, you're an idiot who orders Coors Light. Like the show kind of has that one beer guy, like that, like the guy who's like the pretentious beer guy who's like, oh, if you drink, I look down on you for drinking those. You know what I mean? Like, but it's funny. It's a funny show.
We actually only carried Miller Lite and not Coors Light.
Yeah.
And those people be like, oh, I'm not drinking a Miller Lite. I came in for a Coors Light. Like,
it's the same fucking thing.
Dog, first of all, it's the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Second of all, I will give you such a better beer. Just please let me help you.
Yeah. Drink it cold, because when it's super, super cold, you're not tasting anything anyway, and get it out of your system right away. You know what I mean? Just put it down as quick as you can.
Why did they give me the initial hope of, oh yeah, please tell me about your craft beer?
Please tell me everything I don't give a shit about.
Like, if you would have been like, oh, I don't like that kind of stuff, I'd been like, all right, cool, I respect you.
When someone always
So
says,
now
like,
you're like, oh yeah, tell me about it. Waste the next 3 minutes of my life. Like, I'm going to key your car on the way out.
let me go take your food back and reheat it for you.
Yeah. Oh my god, drove me insane.
Oh my god. More breweries should actually really do something like this.
This is fun.
This is a learning experience.
It's
awesome.
it's funny because I don't want to keep bringing up like New York breweries or anything like that.
But then don't. What did you score this beer?
I want to tell you.
You said you don't want to, though.
Well,
I'm helping you.
they do like a single hop series.
I'm joking.
I know. They do a single hop series, or they combine two totally different hops.
Yeah.
So like, as long as you know what the one hop is versus, and then you don't know the other, you can pick them up really easily. And they do like all whatever everything, all Citra everything, or whatever.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I'm not an educated beer drinker.
Yeah.
So when you're like, this beer has, and you have a laundry list full of everything in it, and I taste and go, overall, with everything you threw into this concoction,
you don't know
it tastes good.
what it truly tastes like.
Yeah, so like now I'm kind of getting these beers where just like, hey, by the way, this main flavor profile is Citra. It's like interesting.
The gather on the Citra it's more of the dank hop.
It's a funky dank. Funky dank is the way I would describe it.
Funky, juicy, dank.
Yeah,
I'm into
juicy.
it.
That's what you're getting. That middle, that body of it.
What are you scoring it?
I gave it a 4.
What is Benny scoring Benny as? A 4.
And you is that your first pun about this whole episode?
No, I thought we were gonna have Spive and his girlfriend here, and I was gonna say, oh, Benny's in your mouth.
We can still do puns.
Yeah, I was gonna.
What the hell, man?
If you put Benny in my mouth, I swear to fucking God.
You've had 3 Bennies in your mouth. Right? This is Benny when he's funky.
Yeah,
no.
This is funky Benny.
Sitting for a little bit.
What do you got here?
I went 3.5 on it again because
you're still high. You're still high. That's good.
It's good. It's an awesome beer. It's not. To me, all of these are learning beers, and it's not something that
they're learning, but they're also very tasty.
Yeah, it's not something that I'd be like, oh, well, I definitely want that exact beer again. But now I know, like, let me get like an orange Citra. You know, like, all right, now I know to go that direction.
That's usually what they do. They do Citra with like a grapefruit.
Yeah.
Or blood orange.
Or a blood orange, yeah.
Or
Well,
whatever
grapefruit,
citrus.
blood orange.
Or whatever,
Fucking-
whatever
They're
citrus.
kissing cousins. Yeah. Blood orange and grapefruit. All right. I also gave this a 4, so I'm right on.
I know
I'm right
you're.
On par.
I know.
You cheated.
I
you looked.
looked, and I'm like, you know what?
Did you bite off me? You're like, Tony gave it a 4. I'm giving it a 4. Is that what's happening here? All right, so this is the beautiful sound of a Simcoe bomb right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Now this one
It's one of my favorite things.
is the one that I actually tried.
Could you pour
This is
that
gonna-
into the microphone?
I can.
ASMR.
Not much of a noise there. Our intro noise is a can cracking and the beer pouring, and you hear the carbonation.
It's one of my
gulps.
favorites, dude.
Yeah, it's like
Gulps,
a
gulp, gulp, gulp,
yeah, the
gulp,
bloop,
gulp.
bloop, 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 and then it cuts right into our heavy metal music by Ultra Violent, our brand new intro music.
Oh, that one worked.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He poured heavy though. He went hard.
Sometimes you have to go
All right,
hard.
so you've had the Simcoe.
I had the Simcoe. This is more now.
Now, why did you pick the Simcoe to try first?
Why did I do it? It was the one on the rack. I'm like, fuck it, we're rolling hard.
So
we're
there
rolling.
was even no thought process to
no
it.
thought, just roll with it.
I can't stand you.
But this one's gonna taste more piney up front than anything.
So my only knowledge of Simcoe is I think it's Weyerbacher does the double Simcoe IPA, and I know that that's a really good one to if you want to lay on the ground for a while because it's pretty heavy.
So
but
this
it's
one has
pretty tasty.
65 check-ins. So this is definitely, so far out of all the ones we have, this is the most bought, I would say, or the most checked in. And this comes in at a 369. Everybody's fine. I won't do the whole thing.
Do it again.
Come on, we're all punning it up.
One friend has checked it in and didn't score it, which I don't. I mean, listen, if you didn't like it, I get it. You don't want to bury their score. But, all right. Here's my only maybe gripe is I kind of like this one does have flavor profiles. Citrus, juicy, grapefruity, sweet, tangerine. So I guess flavor profiles come by the community, but I still think they should have a write-up in there.
They really should. I'm not denying you that, for real. They really should.
Don't deny me of that, for real.
For real.
For real. Don't deny me for real, bro. Fuck you, fuck you.
Don't you deny me of the cross-eyed bear that you gave to me. Isn't that the words to that song?
You ought to know.
I didn't know.
I didn't take a picture of the Citra Bomb with the beer in it, but we'll just get a picture of the can.
It is what it is.
Oh, well. I drank it too quick. I liked it. All right.
Now this is more of like a very light.
All right, this is where the communities kind of stepped in and said Simcoe is where we went.
Oh
and this is
shit,
what
we
checked
jumped
in.
out of order on the
We did. Sorry.
alphabetical.
Sorry.
I was like, I was so confused for a second there. So
All right, I got that smell. I've smelled Simcoe before in my life. I don't want to. Wow.
So now this one says Hazy IPA, single hop series, brewed with milk sugar.
So they did write something in there.
Just a little bit. And sometimes when you try a beer, then too, either A, you're the first one logging that in, and you could put the description in, because I've done that a couple times, or the brewery actually does
Go
it
check
then,
out
too.
Bangin Beers Podcast. Could you imagine sniping their beer? I would never do it, but it'd be funny. Like, I'm the first one to check this in. Check out Bangin Beers Podcast.
I know for a fact
If you're
did
drinking
it.
this beer, go subscribe to Bangin Beers.
I know. I definitely did it with. I did it with a few rotundas that I checked in certain stuff on its own separate location or check in, and I also did it with Abomination then too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was pretty
We've been
wild.
heavy on Abomination on this show, man.
Abomination has such good beers though.
And their art is fucking amazing.
I'll never forget the time. It was like 3 or 4 years ago when it was still at the Elks.
Has Benny's has done any
Collaborations.
collaborations?
We did we had the shotgun sour on at my restaurant as everything shut down, and it makes me sad.
Oh man,
Just thinking about that whole
That's-
fucking
what
barrel of
rest-
shotgun sour.
That's
What
that
restaurant do you
sour's
work
gonna
at?
be fine.
The Shelby in Allentown.
I thought you were a pizza guy.
No, I haven't done that in a couple years.
Really?
Yeah, I've been.
So you drove to Allentown every day for work?
Yep.
Holy
Wow.
fucko.
It's about 45 minutes for me.
That's
but,
not bad.
You gotta when you're working somewhere, you gotta like stand behind. It doesn't matter if you're in a restaurant or anything, but you have to stand behind what you're doing. You know what I mean? And like, I'm a firm believer that our restaurant is
There's a Benny's
easily
brewery.
top 5.
There's a
in
Benny's
the Lehigh
brewery
Valley.
in the Netherlands.
That's awesome.
I just found that out by
I'll
accident.
get it out.
Yeah, just by accident I found that
The
out.
food is so good. If you ever get a chance, come on down, dude. It's so
Yeah, definitely.
good.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to come in and I'm going to ask you to read off your entire lineup and then
Oh,
order,
that's all right.
and then
People
order
well,
Miller Lite.
People at our restaurant currently, we don't really do a lot of beer.
Mhm.
We do have 20 taps, which is awesome.
Holy
but,
shit. But it's mostly
we're
domestic.
we're more signature cocktails.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Like, we're known for our Manhattan. Like, our Manhattan is incredible.
In Allentown, Manhattan. I'm sorry, that was dumb. All right, Simcoe Bomb, single hop series, Benny's Brewing Company. I gave this a 3.75. I like it. I like it a lot. But, no, not even a but. It's a 3.75.
You know, the funny thing, like, I know that when it used to be Soul, Separatist, it used to be Soul, they made, like, different nerd
I can
beers.
see why Simcoe is your go-to. No, this is maybe just my education or I'm learning. I can see why Simcoe may be your go-to hop because I feel like this hop can taste good with any profile you put it with.
You feel like that. It's like, in a way, to me at least,
You can
it
put
feels like
Simcoe
it's
in
like
your
an
beer.
incomplete. It's like an incomplete hop, but you
No.
can put it with what.
Because I think it tastes fine by itself. I just think this.
No,
I think
I
this
get
is
it.
very universal. This is a universal donor. You can mix this with anything and it will taste good.
Yeah, it's fine the way it is, but you could, like you're saying, you could throw in another hop or two. No, I get that.
No, but I think even on its own, it still stands good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. It's, you know, it's funny because when Soul, they did a Simcoe nerd, and they had a thing of like a pine tree on there, and I'm like, oh, okay, pine tree. Like, think Simcoe is just piney a little bit.
Here we go. Here's what we're going to do real quick. I'm going to do something fast. Simcoe. Hop Simcoe is a dual-purpose hop that can be used for both bittering and aroma. It's brewed by I'm not going to read his name because I'll butcher it. It was released in 2000. Charles Zimmerman is the published patent inventor of the hop because it's proprietary hop and its genealogy has not been disclosed. For flavor, it's often compared to a Cascade hop, sometimes called the Cascade on steroids. It's described as both being fruity and earthy. I definitely get the fruity, and
Earthy
carries
for me.
carries notes of berry, apricot, passion fruits, and citrus.
Could you imagine being a brewery and having to go to somebody who trademarked a hop and be like, listen, bud, I want to buy some of your hops? I feel like that's such a weird experience to have to go through. I didn't know
And
you
then-
could copyright hops.
Yeah,
So-
and then Citra is an aroma hop, was created by John Hassis, an extraordinary hop flavor profile of grapefruit, lime, and tropical fruits, but it's despised as high alphas brews often warned against using for bittering, which is considered by most to be harsh and undesirable. Like I said, flavor is grapefruit, berry, orange, mango. Honestly, I didn't get most of those hop flavor. I got that funky.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, for me, I got, like, when they said grapefruity for the Simcoe, that's more up my alley.
Yeah, same here. I'm a grapefruit. I like the taste of grapefruit.
This is going. If this sounds stupid, bear with me. The Simcoe, I feel like, is the sweetest out of all of them so far.
Yeah, so I agree.
So I feel like that would be easier to work into more beers, which may make it more.
Yeah.
I felt like the Azaka and the Simcoe were
The
sweet.
Azaka
They're
was
compared
sweeter,
slightly
but the
sweeter.
Simcoe is the
Yeah.
sweetest of
So
the two.
Azaka is actually named after the Haitian god of agriculture, and is one of the new brewed dwarf bitterling hops and bred by a American Dwarf Hop Association. So like people are just fucking crossbreeding these things, which is kind of crazy.
Fun fact.
Yeah, I'm learning. I didn't know how hop worked. I didn't.
No,
like,
this is the educational episode.
a joint hop breeding venture between Roy Farms, Wyckoff Farms, and Green Asterisk Farms. Azaka is considered by many brewers as being well suited for IPAs. Its flavor profile is, there you go, dry. We said it's making great at late or dry hop additions. Aroma sustained by citrus, mango notes with a little orchard fruit. Yeah, so how we were saying it's kind of drier. We were definitely on par with that. Way off with the Citra. But it is
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
we've never done that in the show. We never actually Googled a hop and read stuff. We should probably do more fucking research if we're going to be taking ourselves seriously here, but it is what it is. Simcoe, bye-bye. I dig it. You know what? I scored it this, but it's definitely because I know Ben's gonna probably leave me at least one of these cans because we have enough for like each person to have one extra.
Yeah.
Because that's what we usually do. We share. Ben's a good dude like that. I initially gave it a 3.75, but I was on the cusp between 3.75 and 4. I was right there.
Yeah, that sounds about fair.
So this can fluctuate for me between a 3.75 and a 4.
I think it all depends on mood too.
Yeah,
for real.
I don't dislike it. I think Simcoe is something that I'm so used to always having because it's used so often that it's kind of like when I drink it, it's like it's good, but it is exactly what I thought it was going to be. Where Citra by itself is like, ooh, that funkiness. I scored it higher because it intrigued me more. Make sense?
No, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Just making sure I'm just not a fucking idiot here.
No, but like when you're saying like your bottom line is a 3.75,
that was a good one. I'm sorry.
If you're saying midnight.
If you're saying that your bottom line's at 3.75, like the brewery already won already. Like like flat out. If you're giving it that, like your lowest is a. And you spilled it on your shirt.
I missed the glass because I was staring at the microphone. Like if I stared at the mic, it would pour better.
Oh my god! I'm like,
well,
I was so scared when I did mine. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There you go. All right, so this is the. Did you score? What do you score the Simcoe?
I went 3.5 again.
3.5.
It's. I don't know if
it's still a good score. No, it's
doing bad with my ratings because like 3.5 is good to me.
A 2.5 is like you're
middle of the road.
So like for me, the way I look at it is 2.5 is a beer that it didn't blow you away, but you would drink it, right? So like for me, like a 2.5 beer is like a Miller Lite, Coors Light. Like I don't hate them; they're not my preferred, but if it was there, I'll drink it. If anything under that is like, man, I did not enjoy that. I mean, I have given ones.
Oof.
Yeah, like it did not appeal to me at all.
Yeah,
it was gross.
that's
to me the way I've been looking at it is, I would say 3.5 to me means that I would drink it again.
Yeah.
It's not that I would search it out. Like I feel if I went to 4, I'd be searching for it. If I went to 4, I'd be like, oh,
so
man,
you're
kind of
scoring. You're scoring how I started scoring it Untapped. So this is kind of how I'm breaking it down the way I do it. Everyone does it differently. So
versus 5 would be like if
perfect
you
beer.
need to put that in my mouth right now.
Yeah. So anywhere between
Benny?
a 2.5 to a 3 is like you enjoyed it. You would have it again. It didn't blow you away, but it's not. It's a middle of the road beer.
Mm-hmm.
this
3 to 3.75 is like very good. Very good.
That's like
I would have it again if it was there. I would look for like you know what I mean. Like this is something like I would probably travel to go get it again. When I say probably, you know what I mean, like I'm out today. Oh shit, we're here. Let's go grab some.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? Like it's not the top of your mind, but it's like, oh, I'm here. I've had this. I'll have it again.
Yeah.
4 to a 4.75 is like I will leave my house when I'm out of beer, and that's a go-to. I would go buy and have it again if it was available, because sometimes these beers are made one and done.
And 5 is basically you're just lining your whole fridge and insulating your whole house with that.
You guys don't want to know my 5s because it would probably hurt.
There's some 5s that we gave that are kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I gave a Zima a 5.
Really?
Yeah,
Just because
wild.
I never had one before.
I think a Chetty is a 4.75 for me.
Have you guys had the Goose Island Sophie?
No, I've had Goose Island the all day.
5.
Is it a stout?
No, it's a farmhouse.
Farmhouse. Ooh.
And it's the hands down best beer.
I had a farmhouse that literally tasted like I was on a farm and I had manure in my mouth.
I'm bringing you a Sophie. Next time I get down to Wegmans, I'm bringing you a Sophie.
Definitely. The Wegmans in Allentown, right?
Yep.
They actually have
It's real hard right now. They only let in like 6 people at a time into the entire building.
It's like Bee Nectar Meadery.
Real quick, just a quick shout out to our boys over, and this is maybe something we can try to work out, and maybe we can drive to New York to go do it. Sloop does bombs, mosaic bombs.
Oh,
and
dang!
And I don't know what so double dry hop bombs too. So they do like a mosaic.
Ooh, yeah.
So maybe we can reach out to Sloop.
Our buddy Harrison.
Yeah, maybe we can reach over to Harrison and be like, Harrison, can you get us some bombs? Can you drop some bombs to us?
Well,
So we can educate ourselves as beer drinkers.
so I'm gonna tell Cheesefoot this story. So one of our episodes, we had the It's Just Beer podcast call in, and ironically enough, that we were doing the ABV game, and they had this one can of beer from Sloop, right? And it was myself, Tony.
Don't ruin the story.
Myself, Tony, and Spive. And when we had it,
let me take over here because I'm the one who kind of did this. All right, we pour this can.
Okay.
We pour this can, Cheesefoot, and I drink it. I go, and I look at everybody. I'm like, this tastes like something, and everyone has the same look in their head, like, what the fuck does this taste like? Right? And I'm like, and then I was like, oh my God. And then once I did that, everyone kind of seen where I was going without me saying it. So we have the dude who made the beer on the phone, and I was like, dude, please do not take offense to this, but your beer tastes like pussy.
Oh my God.
and I'm not trying to be vulgar, but like, it was right there.
That's fantastic.
And it was a fantastic beer.
dead nuts,
Yeah.
no joke.
So Benny's probably does not want to invite us anymore. I just dropped the P
Just
word
like,
on the
whoa.
podcast. But yeah, that's who we are. But no, it did. It like
That's incredible.
It was real. It was like I was like, oh my God. Like, and I'm not the only one who thought it because I drank it and I went and I didn't say the word. When I said it like onto the microphone, everyone at the table was already with me in this statement. And we didn't even say it to each other. It just
Jesus Christ.
all of
Everybody,
us got it.
it's like literally click, like a silent click,
Yeah.
like a
Silent
like
click.
a pen click for everybody.
Yeah.
A pen click.
So it's
for
not like I'm
everybody,
being
like,
creepy or
You're saying
gross.
click,
Yeah.
like CK, or are you
Yeah.
saying T?
No, click.
Okay.
CLICK.
he was staying with the joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ben's yet to find it, so
Hey-oh.
Oh, come on.
staying with the joke. It's like I could be a comic. Just only on my podcast. I couldn't stand up in front of do it in front of people. All right, let's try to get away from this because we probably already ruined our chance to go to Benny's. This is Mosaic Bomb. Benny's.
This
Benny Brewer.
is definitely the Mosaic Hop is definitely probably one of my favorites. Besides, like, if you gave me like a top,
Did I read off what a mosaic is? No, I didn't.
No, you did
I
not.
have it queued up. All right,
But this
Mosaic Hop
Okay.
is a
Oh, God.
quite complex in its profile. It may be noted for its blueberry or its berry medley. Aromas of other description are used are mango, stone fruit, rosy floral, bubblegum, tropic, citrus, grassy, pine, earthy, and herbal spice.
I don't know what a stone fruit is.
Stone fruits like apricots, peaches.
Sounds like a train,
I thought the same thing too.
but it's definitely in the headphones, right?
No, it was outside the headphones. Whatever it was really loud.
I only heard like a really like cool like
It freaked me out.
vibe thing.
Yeah, that creeped me out.
It's like do.
Sometimes these mics do pick stuff up, but it doesn't bleed over to everybody else. But like I was like, what the fuck? I go, I'm not even near train tracks.
Bro, we only lived 10 miles down the road, right? One time it was like 4 in the morning when we were streaming. It was me and Meatball sitting next to each other. And I'm sitting there, and I'm drinking a beer, and I started to get a shake. Like, my whole body just started to get a shake. And I sat the beer down, and for a moment I just sat there, and I was like, that's it. It's the end of beer for me. I'm getting the shakes. Like, I should never have a beer again. And I feel like my entire life just flashed before my eyes while I sat there, like, fuck, this is miserable. And then Meatball goes, did you feel that? And I was like, oh, thank
I'm
fuck.
back.
I picked the beer right back up and just started drinking because apparently, if the entire fucking house shook, like there was video of it and everything because we were streaming.
Yeah.
And it was like the entire house shook, and we're like, was there an earthquake or something? We couldn't find any records.
Cheat the deli right here.
Oh, dude, I got so many of them at home. I found going through all the stream stuff today.
Nice.
But
Do you still live with him?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was crazy because there's no records of any like earthquake or anything in,
You have
in
it.
the area.
You have it documented though.
But we were both just we both saw it. It was fucking wild. I'm just glad I don't have to stop drinking.
You guys were the first video game stream of people who I physically knew that I watched.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had fun. I miss it, but we don't have the reason we stopped was we moved. Meatball had a baby,
Yeah.
and we moved to Port Carbon, which turns out has some sort of a agreement. The Borough of Port Carbon has an agreement with Wire Teleview that they're the only internet service provider allowed in Port Carbon.
And it sucks, doesn't it?
And their maximum tier internet is like 15 megabits down. It's like impossible.
Yeah.
My phone on 2 bars of service is 3 times faster than the best possible internet you can get.
It's disgusting. That's horrible. That should be a
2
crime.
bars of service and throttled because I use it for wireless hotspot for everything.
Yeah. That's a goddamn shame. Did I score this? No, I didn't. I got sidetracked. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben. What do you score in this one?
What? I would give this... This is actually my favorite. It would be my second favorite hop compared to Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah. Galaxy is my number 1. Mosaic is my number 2. Just to give you an idea. I love Mosaic hops because it has that weird funk when it's like a shifty funk, meaning like it'll go one profile and then it'll bounce off a few other profiles and then finishes off nice. So for me, I would definitely say I enjoyed this. I would give this a 4.25.
Wow.
Because I like Mosaic. If there's a Galaxy hop one here, probably would get higher. But
yeah, we
don't have it. But Simcoe is the runner-up for me at least.
Where are you at, Cheesefoot?
I went 3.75 for this one.
A little higher.
Yeah, because it's on the same par with the rest of them, but it was a little bit better as far as taste goes.
Yeah.
If I had to pick out of the 4, that's where I would be.
Yep, I'm with you. It's a 4 for me. Mosaic is definitely Daddy. Now, Daddy. Now, do we rank them all for beer of the day, or do we separate the bombs?
Okay, so
and just say ale is what it is.
Let me be completely honest when I say this, because it's an educational one. It really does vary. We could be across the board with certain bombs. You know what I mean?
I actually think we would all be.
I think
it would be like a shot in the dark.
I don't know. I think first place is a clear runaway.
For real,
I would say so. Who here's first place is not Mosaic.
Yep, there you go.
First place.
Okay.
Now second place, I may be a little different.
Are we just doing bombs?
Just in general.
Because my second place would probably be
the
pale
ale. That's what I was thinking for you as well.
I would say
I'm torn.
I would say the Citra. Citra would definitely be my second because that one had that funk juice, dank.
Citra's number 2 of the night. That's my pick. I was really torn between Citra and Simcoe.
Simcoe would be my 3.
Yeah.
And I would definitely say
I really like the ale, but I like the idea. I think the idea of just the hop bomb would put it over the ale, not for taste or flavor, just for the style of beer. So ale's not. I mean, ale was a great beer. I enjoyed it. I would drink it again.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to ranking beers of the night, it doesn't win. It's not in my first. It's not on my top 3.
From One Soul Brewery, there wasn't a stinker in there. We rated it 3.
I enjoyed them all
with a 3. The 3s to the 4 to 4s.
3.5 is our lowest.
Yeah, so that's not doing terrible for an episode.
No,
for 5
really
beers. So I'm gonna go with a Zaka because of that little mintiness to it.
All right, so you cannot vote pale ale, so you have to go Azaka or Simcoe.
I'm Simcoe for 3.
All right, Simcoe's number 3.
Whoa!
So it goes Mosaic, Citra Bomb. It goes Mosaic, Citra Bomb, Simcoe for beers of the night.
Boom.
There it is. That's banging. That's our episode. Hopefully we didn't. If people from Benny's are listening,
I hope we didn't scare them all.
We didn't offend them. What do we got here? Azaka? That's empty. Pale Ale's empty. Mosaic's got a little bit. You can finish off Mosaic. We'll give you beer of the night. Here's Simcoe. You can finish that one off.
Ooh, boy.
And I believe Citra's it. No, Citra's got a little bit. I'll do Citra, and then I have some Pale Ale poured here. I took it for the photo.
So yeah, this was definitely not a bad lineup. It was actually a really enjoyable lineup.
Yeah, I'm
to say the least.
I'm impressed with.
If they do more Hop Bomb series ones, I like to see a Galaxy and just do some really off the wall ones.
Yeah,
which would be really nice.
Yeah, the single hop bombs are a very, very good idea.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like just the purpose of this show, where we can actually get the profile of
and
the
really
hop.
taste it.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun.
Honestly, guys, I really feel like if you had a 6-pack of all those 4 bombs and you really drank them and really embraced the hop, you can, by a couple weeks, if you're having them here and there, we'd be picking them out for the next show, so on and so forth, and really can dive into it and be educated overall.
If I went back to their brewery, say the whole, I think you just mixed and matched.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
No, that was both.
If I was to go back to the brewery and this whole thing ended tomorrow, I would be like, hey, can I get more of this in my glass? You know what I mean? Like I would definitely go Mosaic. I mean, you
I would
can't go
love
wrong
to
with
know
either.
if they did that on purpose so that we could learn which is which.
I don't. If they are, then awesome. But I'm happy.
I'd also like to know if there was any other bombs, like if they had
I think this is their bomb series.
any other of the different hops.
Yeah, they apparently.
I think it was the 4. She said just the 4 bombs. Yeah,
Mhm.
because she was like, she said I would do the 4 bombs and I would recommend the ale. She goes, another one that's really high is the Franken.
I should have gotten the Franken hop.
Yeah,
I really should have, because that one's actually a decent. That's a decent.
maybe
one.
a half and half of pale and Franken hop. Like
Yeah.
3 and 3. If we were able to do that.
Yeah, that. I mean, again, it was great actually, just having just one single hop.
No, I was really looking forward to this episode. It didn't disappoint.
Good job, Benny Brewing.
Listen, man,
Company.
and I'm not trying to sound like this is a negative thing, but I never heard of Benny Brewing. And then I put it in the group chat that we got stuff from Benny's, and like a lot of people in the chat were like, "Yo, Benny's makes good beer." So like they were, like Spive was really he's had Benny's before, and he was impressed with it. So
I only had
nothing
that.
disappointing either.
they're on my radar.
I only had their Franken hop because I traded with the guy from Wilkes-Barre and he gave me one and I had it and I'm like, this is definitely not bad.
And this is why we want to focus on more Pennsylvania breweries, because there's just a lot of stuff in our own backyard that we don't know, and that's a shame to us. Like that's a disservice to us as a Pennsylvania beer podcast. You know, so this is good. This is the step.
Don't forget though.
This is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, don't forget though. I mean, we're just you know, like I said, we're just lining up beers. You know what I mean?
And we're coming in
trying.
at 2 years old. You know,
Yeah,
and
but-
a lot of where we are in Pennsylvania in School County, we don't have we drove 45 minutes to an hour to get these beers. So we rely heavily on distribution in a lot of places. Like even some of the best places, like I can't go to really any distribution in the School County area and go buy Tattered Flag or go buy Breaker or go buy Abominate. Like it's just not in distribution.
It sucks because you're driving all that time, and then if anything, it's just I forget. It goes it's with the distribution. It's just one of those things where it's kind of like they do territories and shit with it.
It's like
in
pro
a way.
wrestling.
It's
like
just
it sucked for everyone when there was territories in pro wrestling.
Get it out to the public. Get it out to the small areas. If you don't do well in it, well fuck it. Move on to the next area.
Give
You know what I
people
mean?
a
That's
shot.
how I look at it. Yeah. But
Here's a question: in the regular size cans rather than the pounder cans, does that turn you off when buying beers? If you can get 6 regular size cans or 4 pounders,
that's a thing that I really pondered about for the longest time. It all depends. Like I told you about the one can that they had this Imperial Stout in. It was like a 4-ounce can, and they were selling like $30 a 4-pack.
Yeah.
For it. It was fucking nutty. Doing 12-ounce cans, it doesn't hurt. And like the 16 ounces, you don't want to drink the extra 4 ounces. You just want to have something that you can rip through quick. And there's nothing wrong with that. I wish more breweries do that.
I think the 12s lend themselves better for if you want to try more than one beer.
Right. And if you really like it that much, well, here's the pounder can. Done. I don't see a problem with the 12-ounce cans in the
It doesn't
in the
deter me,
slide.
certainly.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that. Ooh, excuse me. It's definitely one of those things that I would definitely say, yeah, like if you can, do the 12-ounce cans. Not only that, with distribution and all that, then too, it's a little bit more accessible for people. But hey, I mean, some of these breweries figure out the pounder cans and they figure out how much goes in the ingredients and how and what have you. Instead of cranking out maybe an extra case or whatever.
Realistically, it's only an 8-ounce difference. So
Yeah.
as far as
Actually, 4 ounce.
72 versus 64.
All right.
You're talking
Yeah, for
bigger
the-
ones.
Here's what we're going to
Okay.
do real quick. We are going to end here.
Mm-hmm.
This is for Bangin Beers Podcast. We're going to play the intro music and hang out with us after the intro music. We're going to do a little bonus thing. So go check.
Oh,
so
baby.
Just,
A
if
boner
you
thing.
want to hang out and talk to us, we have a little surprise for you guys. We're going to do something at the end here. So we're going to end it here, play the intro music, and we'll talk to you guys in a minute.
Well, yeah, I got up there most of the lifts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Like that, baby?
We told you to hang out after the outro music, that we have a little surprise for you. We're going to give you like a 15, 20-minute recording. We're talking to our long-lost brothers over at It's Just Beer Podcast. As we were recording, I sent a message out drunkly to you guys last night saying, man, I gave you like that drunk I miss you text. I was like, oh my God, I haven't talked to
I
them.
loved it.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't talked to you guys in so long. I miss you, and I hope everything's good. And you know what I mean. So then it reignited our group chat. So tonight we just did an episode for a place called Benny's Brewing Company, and I know you guys brew. You guys are educated beer guys, so we go to you guys for advice. You know, you guys are like our senseis in the beer world. So we just had Mosaic, Simcoe, Citra, and Azaka bombs. They're just single hop series, but it was the first beers that we really had where it really showcased that hop. So like now going into other beers, when it says it's brewed with this, we can kind of now pull that out a little bit. So it was really fun for us.
So interesting. Now, it was the one brewery that made their own single hop IPAs for all those different hops.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. When we went there, we're like, that's really like, just for like people who we want to get more educated. We don't want to be breweries. I mean, Ben's brewing a little bit now. He's messing around, but like now we can pull that out. You know what I mean? Like we didn't really know what we were talking about before. We just kind of had it, and then as we were reading it, when I was looking up, like I just typed in Mosaic Bomb. And then I seen Sloop made some beers like that, and I was like, "Oh, that'd be cool to see if that's still a thing that they do."
Yeah. I don't personally know what Harrison's got going on over there currently right now, because they have a lot of beers that they're pumping out. So
yeah,
oof.
It's crazy. Even
Fuck,
though
I know,
this
but-
whole COVID thing, man, like. We have this episode coming up next week where just like everyone's collaborating together. I guess because they have the time to do it. Everyone's getting together and making beers with each other. One of our breweries that we went to today, they actually did a collaboration with Other Half. So we have an
Evergreen.
Other Half, Evergreen and Other Half did a collaboration. So one of the New York guys actually made a collaboration with a PA brewery that we're gonna try.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a big growler can, so I'm really pumped to try it out.
Oh hell yeah.
So how's the New York scene been for you guys, and how's the podcast and recording been?
It's definitely been a learning curve. Doing it in separate locations. We have like our interfaces and our microphones all set up, and we do it via the video chat. It's a learning curve. It's not the same, and it won't ever be the same as like sitting around my dining room table and bullshitting face to face. You know what I mean? Like I'm Dan. I'm not gonna speak for you, but I think like you agree for the most part on that.
Sorry, Josh texted me, so I was trying to respond to him and Sorry, could you repeat that last part?
No, I'm just saying, like, doing like our quarantine casts have been like a learning curve. I mean, we're pretty used to it now, but it's still, the feeling is not the same.
Yeah, it feels like, I don't want to say we have a lot of dead air, but it just, there's no way to replace being there with your buddies to feed off each other's energy. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, we're doing as best as we can with it, but it's certainly not the same.
But I will say that we will definitely be back, unless there's some crazy thing that happens. We're going to be back to the dining room table at Uncle Dan's in 2 weeks.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
Yeah, listen,
We're gonna be back to it.
we kind of got to the point where, like, fuck it, we're over this. Like, we die.
The entire state of Pennsylvania has been like that. It's real weird.
Yeah, we're over it. Like, we're just fucking over it. I've only been quarantined with Ben pretty much the entire time anyway, so it was just like, fuck it. Like, we haven't had the full cast here, so we have been doing here and there. But we're just kind of like, if it happens, it happens. In our where we are located in Pennsylvania, the cases are very, very low.
One of the lowest counties for
yeah,
sure.
so it's super
Like
low.
400 cases or something amongst the entire
Like
county.
457, I think I read up like this week.
We live in a county where, like, if you catch syphilis, I know about it because everyone knows each other's business. So, you know.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You heard about
So
that?
if there's
Yeah.
457 cases, that's half the population then, right?
No, we have a pretty decent population. Just we're in each other's businesses, and with social media, it makes it worse. So, like, if Ben shits his pants on a Tuesday, everyone knows by Tuesday at 12 o'clock at midnight, and everyone's like, like, everyone's going to Ben's house and they're fucking knocking on his door and making fun of him. It's just one of those communities.
But they'll also clean it up for
No,
you.
I mean,
Yeah.
trust me, we have plenty like that in New York as well. Where I live, in Greene County in New York, we have very little COVID cases. It's very rural, so it's just shit doesn't spread. But like where Dan is, he's more down. He's downstate. He's much closer to the city. He has many more cases going on
Yeah.
than like I do in Greene County.
By the way, that
Yeah,
Halo
it's
2
still
poster is
not-
glorious back there.
Yeah, right. It's still not too bad where I am. I check the stats pretty much every day, and I think there's been 84 deaths, and that has not risen in like 2 weeks or so.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we're under
So that's
10 for
positive.
death.
Yeah.
I think it was like 7.
We have 5 in my county. 5 deaths.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
and we're
so-
at
but if you-
Pennsylvania's sketchy because we don't even know if those actual 7 deaths are COVID related.
Yeah, it was probably some dude tripped and fell at the hospital. And
You know
they're
what I mean?
"Oh,
Like
COVID.
And they're kind of just like,
Well, he wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for COVID. You know?
But if you go just south of me in Westchester County, they have many, many thousands of deaths. So
yeah,
it's not far away.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. We're definitely not making light of it, but it's just, you know, it is what it is. It's just hard to keep humanity contained, I guess. But how has it been when it comes to the breweries out there? Are people still producing? Like, I know, like with industrial arts, what's been the case?
Everyone's busier than ever. So with us, so I'm on, I do self-distro at the brewery. That's kind of my role. I've always done the Hudson Valley region, and our other driver was taking care of Manhattan. We have since moved self-distro out of the city, and we're focusing solely on expanding the Hudson Valley region. But we're also doing home deliveries as well. So him and I kind of split duties on that, depending on, where all the stops are. One day could be all wholesale or, all home deliveries, or a mix of the two, depending on how far apart the stops are. And that's good for me, at least, because it means I won't have to work in the city ever again when the other driver takes vacation, which I've had to do a couple times, and it fucking sucks. So, yeah, but we're definitely selling a fuckload of beer. Everyone, aside from the brewery retail staff, is all back to full-time work.
Good.
Yeah, we're cranking it out. We have a couple larger distribution deals with distributors that take care of our beer that we can't do for ourselves. So I mean, we're filling up, box trucks several times a week with beer. And our tap rooms are selling a hell of a lot of beer too. We have one in Beacon and our main one's in Garnerville. And, Beacon's, been around for, let's say, 8 or 9 months at this point. And, it doesn't really seem to get the same amount of traffic that the Garnerville location does. But I'm still going there every week and replenishing the stock there because people still come by and, pick up 4-packs to go on a pretty regular basis. So.
Yeah. Yeah, even like the breweries in our area that sell food. We went today to pick up the one, and I mean, here's the cool thing: when they do a can release, it's not like you have to wait in a huge line to get your cans. It's really, really quick to get in and get out.
Yeah, for real.
It's been fantastic getting can releases, but it's been like people are like most of the time when we're going there, like there's a little bit of a line, and it's like, oh, we're here for food, so we get right to the beer line, get our beers, and go. And then people like they're still making food and sending it out to people. So like even like I know our local bar in town here in our town. I think their business has tripled, and they don't even have to pour a beer out of a tap system because their food is just going out the door like crazy.
Yeah, I know Equilibrium and Hudson Valley. I mean, I've been going to both of those pretty much every weekend, and it's kind of nice. You just go online, you pick what you want, you pick a pickup window, you show up, they have your beer ready for you, and they just hand it off, and you're on your way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully Pennsylvania...
Although I did see...
Oh. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I saw a video from Mortalis Brewing, which is upstate, and they're kind of a pretty big hype brewery right now.
Yeah.
There was a line of cars a mile long.
Wow.
Yeah.
To pick up their release today.
The pictures are fucking nutty.
Really?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's
we only
ridiculous.
had one. We only had like one beer from there. That was with the dented can. It was like that, like the chin can, where it was like dented a different way,
yeah.
and it was like all fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been really crazy, man. Just getting like in our area, it's not too crazy getting anything, and beer seems to be doing well because I think they said Pennsylvania was killing it when it comes to alcohol sales.
Food in this area is doing fucking wild.
Yeah,
numbers.
I think food like pizza places are doing way better than they were normally.
Record numbers.
Like local business, the ones that are allowed to be open in Pennsylvania are doing well.
Everybody's hood rich. They're getting the unemployment plus the extra $600.
Yeah, unemployment plus we're getting here, and it's just it's been helping a lot of people out, and they're like, I got that extra $600. Let's support the local pizza place and beer place.
Pretty cool.
Damn, I got to earn all my money.
Yeah. I hope our government turns around and says people who have been working through this, I hope you guys get like a fat check.
Well, they passed that what's it, the Heroes Act through the the House yesterday.
But what are they going to consider essential?
But it's crazy because it says essential. The wording of it is essential workers will receive hazard pay. However, there's no definition for essential workers, and there's no definition for hazard pay.
Yeah.
As long as your employer pays
the alcohol
you more.
business is deemed essential, so
Yeah.
And I'm definitely putting myself in harm's way every day.
I agree. I think you should get a fucking check. People. I mean, a lot of people like my fear, and not a fear, but like nurses and doctors,
Like concern.
Yeah, like medical thing is where they're gonna be like, well, that's what we're paying, but these other people, I mean, it is what it is. But no, that's not the case. If you're out there and you're earning a check, still, you should get compensated for
I
it.
agree.
Yeah. As you cough and
Well,
we
I
off
gotta
there,
say
yeah.
this,
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. The brewery was nice, and they so when this thing all first happened, and nobody really knew how to react right away. Everyone got their hours cut by like 20%.
Yeah.
But, I must have the Rona. Sorry.
Oh no.
Coughing is scary as fuck now. You're like, oh my god, I gotta sneeze, but I don't want people to think anything.
Well, I cough and sneeze regularly anyway, so it's whatever. It's probably just seasonal bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, after the first month, and once we all got back to full-time work, we did well enough that the brewery gave everybody, a little bit of a bonus to kind of offset for the hours they lost.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I love that.
Cool. That's awesome, man. That makes me want. That makes me when I come out to your way, we're gonna throw some bucks at industrial because that's all. I love hearing those stories where the brewers are just still taking care of their people. That just makes me feel it's one of those feel good things.
Definitely.
Anybody
for
who's
sure.
taking care of the people that take care of them, definitely. It's
Yeah, 100%.
commendable.
Now, what have you guys been doing when it comes podcast wise, like episode? Have you guys done anything during this time that you're able to do that you normally couldn't do?
I mean,
How so?
Yeah,
Like-
we're doing it just like you see it right now.
Yeah, well, we actually added to the show as we've been doing interview segments where we kind of interview people because it's at the point now where everyone's everyone.
You fucking
Sorry,
Uncle
Uncle Dan caught me there. We added interviews because we kind of realized that like people are home and some people aren't doing anything, so we send messages out and see what happens. So we actually got in contact with some pretty big Pennsylvania beer like review our website pages that have a pretty nice following. So we got in contact with them for some interviews. Actually, right before we recorded tonight, we talked to Sam Mills, who does all the artwork for Nightmare Brewing. Yeah, so like we're
Super sick.
yeah, we've been some really cool interviews. You know, we can't go to breweries, but we're still finding a way that we can talk to different breweries and learn and kind of build that network up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys-
I don't know.
that's all. I'm actually really pumped about that. I already forgot his Sam,
Sam Mills.
the Nightmare artist,
Yeah.
Sam Mills.
Yeah, he's done
I don't know,
art.
like-
He's done art for Nightmare. He's done art for Thrasher. He's done artwork for Past Blue Ribbon, for a bunch of death metal bands, a bunch. And then he really,
well, I'm sure.
yeah, and he really went into detail about what he has to do when he does art for Nightmare, which is really, really intense. The guy who brews Nightmare, like he's all about not just like the can art and the name of the beer, but he really goes into the history of why he's naming it that and why the art has to be a certain way because of those old school torture things that he's like. It's kind of like educational in a way.
Like Blood Eagle.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even, well,
There's like Easter eggs to
Yeah.
it. The reason why the certain beers are at certain percentages is because of like the history of the like. There's all like there. He said there's so much to it. Like he said he'll put art out and the guy will be like, "Can you add this or do this because it's not historically accurate? This guy's hat should look like this because of the time frame." Like he puts a lot into like his beer and his name as like it's crazy. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Fucking suck it to him. Be realistic.
Yeah, it's really, really wild. But man, I just want to we sent that message out to you guys so you didn't think we forgot about you or anything. We're still very, very excited to come up and hang out in New York with you guys, but just wanted to stay in touch.
We'll try to make a whole full weekend of it for you.
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, baby.
I'm down. I'm down with the clown like a juggalo. I'm pumped.
Oh, fucking yo, ICP.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
oh god, we are gonna have a good time.
The Great Malenko, dog.
That was the
I grew up with that shit.
That was the album. That was the album that made me fall in love, and then shortly after fell out of love because I'm like, okay, how much longer can I listen to fart and pee jokes in my rap? You know?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I was 13, I was like, oh, this is so sick. And then all of a sudden I was just like 14, I was like, yeah, so I'm going back to like Slayer and Megadeth.
Yeah,
so
same here.
See you guys later.
Yeah, it's like, oh, cool. You said fuck 56 times. That was awesome when I was 13, bro. I'm 14 now. I gotta really gotta up
It's
my
like, dude,
music
Fred
game.
Durst
First
says
of all,
fuck
my
like
dad said
900
I
times
don't
in
have
the
to
song. What's up?
curse.
Yeah. Fred Durst changed the game for me. I'm like, I'm going back to Fred Durst. Like that. Wes Borland's a beast on
Hell
guitar.
yeah.
Did you hear about the new Sheets beer? Speaking of Fred Durst,
No.
the new Sheets beer is called Hop Dog, and it's brewed with Sheets hot dogs.
Hop dog flavored water.
And Fred Durst is going to lose his mind. I swear to God, dude.
They made it with hot dog flavored water.
They made it with Sheets brand hot dog water.
Oh,
And this is real. This isn't like a joke. This is something that's going to come out this month.
I don't know if I
Like,
want that.
We're talking about Sheets, like the gasoline,
Yep.
like
Yes.
mess.
This
like,
is their third beer.
Yes.
It's a Sheets beer.
It's a Sheets beer. And usually the last two beers, they did collaborations with Evil Genius. This one, Evil Genius said, there's no way I'm going to make you a beer with hot dog water.
So they had to go out and do it on their own.
Yeah, I forget who they got to do it, but they had somebody else do it. Because Evil Genius told them no. Evil Genius told
Evil
them
Genius,
no.
yeah.
And they do like the weirdest fucking names I've ever heard.
Names, but they're like, we're not putting hot dog.
We're not
flavor
putting
on
hot dogs in beer.
it. I don't think I can do that either.
Oh my god.
Man, I love hot dogs, but I don't know if I fucking want hot dog water.
I'm going to make sure I get you
brew it.
one.
Yeah, we'll try to snag one for you.
Oh, I'll totally try it.
That's what I said. I said,
I'll
there's
try
not
it
a
too.
chance I want that, but I'm trying it.
Yeah, if you find it, let me know.
I'll
oh
have
my
it.
god.
How is
Okay.
how's been brewing on your end, Uncle Dan?
Oh, my fermentation funds. Well,
Ooh.
Ben knows really well because I've been talking to Ben back and forth the last few days now. So I just put together a 5-gallon batch of Dandelion Wine, and if you're not familiar, Dandelion Wine is very work intensive, very fucking work intensive. And I was having issues getting fermentation started.
Ben's just
And
stringing
I
it.
was getting-
Ben's like, I don't see it. But
Yeah, dude, I was getting so fucking angry. Like, I'm like, everything's good. My pH is good. My temps are fine. My sugar content's fine. I use yeast nutrient. Like, I fucking have everything down. Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with this shit. Fermentation doesn't pick up at all. 3 days in, I repitched some yeast. I'm like, you sons of bitches. Like, you my boys. My last packet of yeast that I wanted to use for this, too, I don't have any more. Can easily remedy that by buying more, but, you know.
Right.
fucking
principle.
lazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, exactly. It's the principle. So, this motherfucker, I'm talking to my buddy Justin. We had him on a podcast a few podcasts ago. You know, he's a big beer guy. His wife is, you know, she's got a bachelor's of science and brew science. Like, dude, she's fucking wild. She's like, have you tried increasing the temperature? I'm just like, well, the yeast strain I'm using, like, well, first of all, I've used this yeast strain a bunch of times. I've always fermented at this certain temperature. Like, there's been no problems. And she's like, well, try warming it up. I'm like, all right. So I put it in my reptile room, which is much warmer in the house. Son of a bitch, the next fucking day, these cocksuckers are fucking going off. So right now, this thing is fermenting like a son of a bitch. So
from what Ben's been telling you
I'm
with his
very
beer
happy.
or his wine, where do you think he's at right now? Have you checked pH?
No.
No, I know like you talking about checking pH and this. I know damn well Ben just literally put it in a bucket and hope it worked.
I used to have a friend that did
Dude,
that with
and
wine
You
in
know
high
what?
school.
And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Like Ben's like, I'm just fucking winging it, dude.
I told him that right off the bat.
He,
But, like,
he
you know,
picked
that's
cat piss.
fine
He
because, like-
picked cat piss dandelions out of his yard. Like
Oh, shut the fuck up about that. Cat piss dandelion.
he has a lot of stray cats in his area. Like sometimes you'll. Like, I went to his house
Oh,
today.
nice.
I'm like, what the fuck, Ben? He's like, dude, these cats they just piss everywhere in this part of our neighborhood. I'm like, and he starts picking dandelions. out of his yard. I'm
No.
like,
You're taking it. No,
I'm like,
this
you
is
know
where
they
you're taking
piss.
it out of context. And we're gonna make fucking Uncle Dan die from laughter. This is the banner that we're gonna have. First off, the cats were pissing on my porch when they had like that fake AstroTurf grass bullshit.
You don't think they're just pissing in your yard either?
They are pissing in my front yard. But I don't know about my backyard.
But they just said,
though.
you know what? We're not going to piss in this guy's backyard. We're
They
willing.
run,
to
they run away
respectful.
all the time. They
Yeah.
run away all the time. Like you go to the light, they fucking take off.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
After they just dropped a piss on your dandelions.
Oh, so all right, well, that's fine. So we'll drink Ben's Dandelion Wine and we'll fucking cheese the fuck out,
Yeah.
right?
Oh god.
South Park reference. I love it.
Like, it's fine. Let's fucking trip, dude. It's fine.
Could you imagine? That would be fantastic.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, you killed Benny.
I'll be interested to see though
You bastard.
what it's like.
That's what we're gonna call his wine. Oh my God, you killed Benny.
Bastards.
It's already got its name. It's fantastic.
God.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm really excited. You haven't got a chance to try it, but Uncle Dan here makes some insane ciders. His one cider is, oh my God, it's unbelievable. When we go up there, I'm bringing a bottle home, or 2 or 3 or 5 if I can. As
When
many
you go up there,
as
I'm
well
sending
as,
you with a hop dog.
Give me money.
yeah,
Give me money.
I'm gonna give you all the money I can and take as much as I can because you're the snake
Snow snake.
snow snake. I call it snake venom because it looks
Snow
like snake
snake.
venom. Yeah,
It actually does look like snake venom.
yeah,
Yeah.
it looks fucking amazing. Here's a quick question for you. We were talking about on our wrestling podcast, and you're the best guy. And I should have patched you into the interview right away. We were talking about Jake the Snake Roberts, and he told stories where like he used to have these agitated snakes because he never fed them, and they were kind of like literally with the way he described it in the 80s is like he would get a snake, the guy would drop off a snake to him and be like, "I'll come back for it in a couple weeks," and then like these snakes would get agitated because they're getting bounced around and thrown around and treated like shit because they're used for wrestling props. Do constrictor snakes bite?
Do they bite?
Yeah, like if you have a boa constrictor, will it strike and bite you?
I mean, depends on the circumstance, but 100%, yeah. Anything with a mouth can bite.
Yeah, that's what I said. They were talking about in the podcast, and they're like, no. The reason they use constrictors is because they technically don't bite; they constrict. And I was like, if they need to defend themselves, they're going to bite with their mouth, 100%.
Who's
Oh,
on
they'll bite the
Yeah,
fuck out of
that's,
you if you give them a reason.
Yeah.
100% wrong. Yeah, exactly. They'll totally. So a defensive bite, where they don't think you're food, they bite you. They don't constrict.
Yeah.
Now, most constrictors, like your classic, like python or boa, they're going to have around 100 teeth in their mouth, 6 rows of them, 4 in the top jaw, lower jaw is going to have 2, just like us. They are hypodermic needle sharp, and they're recurve, meaning they face backwards towards the back of their mouth.
So they're shredding you.
Yes. They have, depending on the size, yes, they can cause actually a lot of very serious damage, especially with very large constrictors. They can, like, for example, the reticulated python, they not only have, all right, hold on. Reticulated python, it's the longest species of snake on the planet, right? They can get over 20 feet long. With a head that size on, say, a 20-foot snake. Now, this is not the size snake that Jake the Snake would ever be using when he was using snakes.
Could you imagine?
By any means. He's using a snake half that size at most from the footage I've seen. But either way, a snake, like a full-grown retic like that, dude, they have teeth. Like I said, they have around 100 teeth, maybe 80, maybe 110. Depends on the time. They shed teeth throughout their whole life, too, and they keep going back. But we're talking teeth that are a 1/4 inch long. All right? So their mouth is filled with a bunch of fangs. Now, these teeth are also serrated like a steak knife. So when this animal bites you and you pull away, which is just a natural reaction, you jerk, and the animal is also pulling away because it's not trying to constrict you, it completely gashes you and leaves you open. So a bite from a large constricting snake, and I'm using a reticulated python for this example, but even a big African rock python, a large green anaconda, or even a Burmese python, they can cause nerve and arterial damage where you need surgery to correct it or close it up on a really bad bite.
Yeah.
Will I encounter any of these on my way home tonight?
No, definitely not.
Please no.
Now you'll be all right.
Now, the other thing we
You'll be
talked
all
about
right.
is we talked about the Jake the Snake interview where he was on Joe Rogan. I don't know if you heard this story, but there was an old wrestling segment where they had a cobra, and they devenomized the cobra, but Macho Man was very paranoid. So he thought, I'm sure the cocaine helped out with his paranoia, but he thought because he was champion.
Yeah, brother.
He thought because he was champion, and they didn't want him to be champion because he was kind of like the faux champion because it wasn't Hogan, that this is their way to get the belt off him without him losing, that they were going to get him bit by a real cobra and he would die. So he forced Jake to make the snake, like pull the snake out and force it, like, to agitate it to bite him in the thigh before they even hit the curtain to go do the match. So Jake had to agitate the snake and kind of smack it around a little bit so it bit him in the thigh, and then Macho Man didn't see him die, so he's like, okay, brother, when we go out there, you're going to fucking sneak this in me, right? So then they go out, and then he now is forcing the snake again, like he's holding the snake to Macho Man's arm, and the snake's like, no, I'm not biting it. Like, I don't. So he's like hitting it, like bashing it off his arm, and then the snake's like, well, fuck it, okay, I bite. So he like forced the snake to bite him like 4 or 5 more times, and then when they brought back, like, they would never be able to do this again. Actually, I say that, and they used a snake again on TV like last week, which I wasn't a huge fan of. But then he said, like, now I don't know how true this is, and maybe you can do it, but I guess the snake was so traumatized for being forced to bite somebody, it actually, like, they said it killed itself. It killed itself.
So, stress kills animals, right?
Yeah.
Stress kills humans. In the same, I'm sorry, I'm munching now. I got some fucking wangs and all kinds of shit.
No, do you?
So,
Snakes and wangs. I love it.
You gotta get real, you know? So,
and you make awesome food.
Stress kills animal. Cortisol is produced when you are stressed out. It gets into your bloodstream, it thickens up your blood. It's not a good thing, though, to have all the time. So people who are really stressed out all the time typically have heart attacks, have strokes. They're more prone to these issues, right?
Yeah.
The same thing happens with animals. Now, there could be varying reasons why this could happen. For example, like crocodilians. The reason why, if you were to capture a large alligator or a large crocodile, you have to do it quickly, is that animal will fight you so ferociously. The way that their body works is that they will use all the oxygen in their body to fuel their muscles at 110% for as long as they possibly can, to the point where they suffocate themselves to death. They literally can't breathe fast enough to replenish the oxygen levels.
Holy shit.
And they'll die. They'll die literally from like telling you to go fuck yourself and from stress. With snakes, it's a little different, but animals die from stress just like a human can.
Yeah.
And so that's very, very possible that this cobra died. I mean, and I'm sure, again, we're talking the care standards were probably extremely substandard, especially we're talking 30 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah, 100%.
We've come a long way in the reptile world as far as like care is concerned and husbandry.
You should go check out the clip they just did recently on AEW, where Jake the Snake brought a snake out and put it on a girl, like, and kept rubbing it all over her body, and tell me if you think it was not a proper way to use and handle a snake, because I would almost guarantee that it wasn't. I was like, I'm not a snake fan, but I was very offended, and then like he did this thing where he had the snake and acted like he was gonna throw it in the front row, like at the crowd.
Oh wow!
And I was like, man, Pete is gonna be calling. They're gonna get a phone call. They're 100% gonna get a phone call. They shouldn't fuck with animals like that. That's the second time that
Peter doesn't give a
AEW.
fuck about scaly animals.
Yeah,
So
that's the second time that
but-
AEW has done some stuff with animals that I was not a fan of.
Really?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes went to bring his dog out, and like they're standing in the rampway to come out, and the pyro hits, and the dog was like, "Nope, not going out there."
Dogs don't like that
And
shit.
they were like forcing the dog to come to the ring, and they're like, the dog was like, "I don't want to go there. I just seen fire and explosions," and the dog was like freaking out, like, and you can see like as they're walking down the ramp, the dog was like not having it.
Who greenlit that?
I don't know. It
Who was like, I've never had a dog. They definitely love loud
I was
noises.
and it was a husky too.
Yeah, they love loud music and pyrotechnics.
Oh, that's
for sure.
even worse.
Yeah,
oh my
I was
God.
watching the pay-per-view and I'm like, I fucking hate this. I don't care how good this match is. What they just did right there has me so upset because that dog is
Seriously.
freaking out. Yeah,
No, I'd be upset too. Even you telling me that, just in general, is fuck that.
yeah. He kept putting the snake like
Wow.
all over her face and like picking it up and dragging it down her body, and like I was like, man, this snake.
I mean, I'd have to see how that's done, but typically when it comes to entertainment practices and animals in general, not just reptiles but mammals as well, it's usually never good, man.
yeah, I just don't like.
It's usually never good.
And that's a huge reason why I don't mess with snakes, or I don't like being around people with snakes. Like with you, I feel comfortable because I'm like, even though I'm not a reptile fan or I'm not a snake fan because they scare the fuck out of me, I just don't like when people are like, oh, your buddy finds a snake in the woods and they fucking throw it at you. I'm like, asshole, that fucking you just picked up a snake and
There
just
was
fucking.
no snakes where I'm from, thank God.
Yeah, I'm like,
There was
I don't-
assholes, but there
I
was
don't
no
want you to
snakes.
throw like, even if it's like a salamander, they pick it up and they're like, oh, they like, or you get a spider and you go to scare somebody with it. Like you're traumatizing the animal just as much as you're traumatizing the person who's afraid of it. And then the person's taking swipes at it and stuff. Like, don't do that with creatures. Like, just stop it.
Well, let me put it to you this way. You know, especially like something like a salamander. You pick up a salamander, you throw it at somebody. Are you going to pick up a puppy and throw it at somebody?
Exactly. No, the answer is no, and you shouldn't do that.
definitely not.
Yeah.
Not at all.
These people are cunts. Animals are animals.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Agreed.
Same nervous system, same everything. A snake feels the same pain as a dog.
Yeah.
You kick a snake, you kick a dog, they feel it just the same. As you kick a human,
definitely,
we
yeah.
feel all the same.
Yeah.
They have, they're more similar to us than they are necessarily different. And well,
Has any of
we share a
your
lot
big
of similarities.
has any of your big pythons struck at you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, I'd shit my pants.
Over the years, but you have to remember though. I love snakes, but they're certainly not the most intelligent creatures. Some more than others.
Same.
But snakes get accustomed, just like any animal, they get accustomed to like, oh, he opens a cage and food comes in. So when the enclosure gets opened and let's say you put your arm in there, that animal still thinks it's getting fed.
Yeah.
It doesn't give a fuck that it's your arm or anything. And there's so many variables, especially with something like a python, where their eyesight's very terrible, but they see infrared, so they see temperature.
They just see heat.
That's
yeah.
how they hunt. So a lot of them hunt at night. They see heat, and their main source of prey is warm-blooded animals. So you stick your nice warm arm into the enclosure, bam, dude, they're ambush predators. They don't fuck off. They fucking take the opportunity. So there's ways to train them around that.
I want to if I ever
very high overview.
If I ever get money, I want to hire you for like a kid's birthday party. Just be like, snakes, they don't fuck off, bro. And like, this guy knows his shit,
And
bro.
my man just has some small fireworks going off.
I want
love it.
Untamed Uncle Podcast Dan with beers to fucking teach kids about snakes. To be like, you like this snake? This thing has fucking 58 teeth, and it'll fuck you up, bro. Like, and then the kids are like, this guy is the fucking man, bro.
You guys like the movie Predator? Well, this shit sees temperature, you son of a bitch. If it breathes, we can kill it. You know? Like,
you'd make a killing. That's your calling.
Yeah, oh,
bro.
yeah.
You know, speaking of with the whole
doing adult children shows.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god!
Yeah, kids will eat that shit up. But this guy's
Listen,
real
for
as fuck. He talks.
vulgar mouth.
Yeah.
It's like when they're watching South Park without their parents knowing it.
Exactly.
You know?
And you know what? They respect it because they're like not being treated like kids. You would make a killing.
Oh my
And be
god!
like, if you kids really want to get fucked up, you ever watch Cannibal Holocaust?
I've only ever dropped one fuck in the 12 years.
Oh, I
I've been
heard
doing
about
watching, I've only
this. So
dropped
I was
one
listening.
fuck. But like, you know, to very brief summary about it, like, I said it kind of under my breath, but it was loud enough that everybody could hear it fairly well, because I was trying to like make the kids guess about what the next animal was, and it was the last animal, so of course it's gonna be a big bombshell snake, you know. And I was just like, so what kind of snake do you? And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, oh, fudge. you see, it was an outside show. It was during summer. It was a birthday party, and you see the kids go.
He did it. He said it.
Like, they were excited because they got to hear a curse word.
Yeah.
And the parents, they were all smiling. They were just like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just so you know,
it
one
went over
F-bomb
well, but
makes
that
it
was
PG-13, so
only
you're
time
fine.
that's ever happened.
Yeah. Dan, by the way, I seen that controller you just grabbed. I need to get that. You need to send over your gamer tag. I'm an Xbox guy too.
All right, we'll do.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up here. We'll wrap it up here. Where can people find It's Just Beer Podcast that are hanging out for this episode if it's their first time? And real quick, I just want to give because we're doing a Benny's episode, so this might bring in some new people from Benny's and everything. So what our plan is we're going to New York. And they're going to provide beers from New York that are some of their favorite breweries. And we're going to bring some of our favorite Pennsylvania breweries. But we're also going to open that up to our fans.
Yeah.
Like, what breweries, if you're saying you're going to bring beers to a place in New York, what beers do you bring from Pennsylvania that we want to impress them with? So definitely sound off in the comments. And then we're going to try to bring some heavy hitters from New York or some stuff that you think they would enjoy from Pennsylvania to New York. And then they're going to try to do the same for us. And we're going to hang out for the weekend and have a really good time and do a collaboration beer podcast.
It's going to be absolutely fun.
So where can people find your podcast?
Mouthful of chicken wings.
It's Just Beer Podcast on the old Instagram. Just add, It's Just Beer Podcast on Facebook. It's Just Beer Podcast at gmail.com. And I think that's
any
about
major
it.
streaming service.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Just
download
Beer
it
Podcast.
pretty much. Yeah, any podcast app you use, we should be on there.
Yep, they are Anchor affiliated, so they are everywhere. Just like us, you just type in "It's Just Beer Podcast." It looks like a cool old school Nintendo Power logo. You know you're in the right spot.
Oh yeah! Our boy did that.
It's so
Our wavy
gorgeous.
boy.
Good job, Dan.
We just kind of spoiler alert for people listening. We'll give you guys a little plug here. We may or may not be getting original art done by Sam Mills for our podcast.
Ooh.
We may have Sam Mills art for our new logo in the future, depending on if we can work out a deal.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, boy. but thank you.
Remember,
ahead.
before you sign off, you had mentioned, and I'm going to talk my mouth full. I don't give a shit.
Do it.
You
You slob.
had mentioned you're having Sam on, and I'm just like, yo, ask him if he knows Tony Cole. And I didn't expect you guys to actually ask him that, but
I asked him off
Tony
camera.
Cole. Did you?
I asked him because I didn't like the way the interview was going. There was a little bit of there's some stuff to it, so I kind of waited till we were done recording, and then after we kind of still talked a little on the phone, and then I said, "Hey, the guys from New York, I know said, do you know Tony Cole? He does art for heavy metal bands as well." And he's like, "I'd have to look, but I know a lot of people would be tough to because he's from California. The guy who does all the art for Nightmare is not even from the area. He's from California."
Oh, Tony Cole's from California as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So the thing about Tony Cole, he's done artwork for a million death metal bands. He does really sick shit. But I reached out to him, and he's the one who actually did my Dan Levo Reptiles T-shirts.
Oh,
So
wow.
This whole thing,
Wow.
Where
like
can
he did the logo. I know my beard's in the way, and I got fucking hot sauce all over my fingers from these fucking lines. So, like he did all this for my reptile company. Because I'm like, dude, I'm fucking huge death metal head. Like,
where can one get those Dan Reptile shirts? Because I may want one of those, an extra large.
So I don't have any more.
Boo.
I've been being hounded by so many people. It's just I haven't gone out of my way to get them reprinted, and I'm just being a cunt. I just need to stop being lazy.
Check out Teespring.
I could sell like 100 more, and just like there we go. Like
Literally, go on Teespring, upload your logo to the website, and the company literally ships and does all the shit for you. Like, it's just Beer Podcast, and you should have merch there.
Well, I agree, and I actually do have a Teespring account, but their uploading equipment, their uploading software is really shitty. So I would only do black T-shirts, as you see here, because this logo is the black background logo.
Yeah.
But when you upload the design, it uploads the black box of the logo in the photo.
You got to drop it into a program and digitize the background out of it.
Yeah, I had Noah do that for all mine.
Yeah.
And I pretty much, like, I had a friend who was going to do it, and she didn't. And then Dan's like, you know I do graphic design, bro, right? And I'm just like, oh, shit, dude.
I want an It's Just Beer
I guess you
Podcast
do.
T-shirt.
So, I mean, maybe Daniel and I can talk about it and we can get it figured out. But
yeah, it literally takes 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so maybe we can do that, and then I'll be like, yo, dude, it's Teespring. Check it out.
Yeah, I want a reptile shirt, and I want a It's Just Beer Podcast shirt. So that's your homework, boys. I want to show the love.
I sent Joshua the work file, so I don't know what he's planning on getting T-shirts done or stickers or what.
Yeah.
But
Listen, T-shirt and stickers both go well with this show. We put them on the table, and I wear them, and we stand in front of our little banner, and we take pictures, and we support other people. But I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much.
Oh yeah.
Don't hang up. We'll talk a little bit after, but thank you guys. This is a little bonus thing at the end of the episode with It's Just Beer Podcast.
Our Easter egg.
Our little Easter egg. Go check those guys out. Like I said, all major podcast platforms. It's Just Beer Podcast. Also on Facebook and Instagram. And go check them out. They do a great fucking job. And you'll actually learn about beers, unlike with our terrible show. All right. And we're out.